guys, we hatched a baby quail. Ah! Yay! Alrighty. That one was wiggling earlier this morning, so it was the first one to hatch. One's a little bit closer to the right. Those ones should be next. Woo! Now that I know it's actually time, I'll set up the camera so we can see it. Yay! Look at them all. Alrighty, it's time, now that they're all fluffy, for them to be moved to their more permanent brooder. And I'll show you where that is. Alright, this is our super duper classy brooder. It's an old mud box because we have a brooder plate instead of the lamp. We felt it was safer for chicks and quail, etc. So we've got that. It's set at the lowest setting so that they can get under there and be nice and warm. We've got a towel at the bottom because per the instructions of the first set of quail we got, it said that we should not use shavings. It wasn't good for them, and we can't have a smooth bottom because it's not good for their little legs. I have two specific quail waterers, so you can see it's a little bit more narrow than the average poultry waterer. Yeah, I'm supposed to have jars on here. I left them somewhere, so I will be doing that. And so that is this basic setup. I'm also going to get a little plate for their ground up food. Their feed is crumbled, but the quail are so itty bitty that they need it ground up for them for a couple of weeks. So that is next after I moved a little quail over here. Okay, as I put these guys into their permanent brooder, I'm going to take each one and dip their little beaks into the water so they know where the water is. Alrighty team, this is some of the quail chick food. You can see on this side, we've ground it up. I used my husband's smoothie maker. He did it first, so I'm not too worried about it. So this is where it's all ground up. It can fit into their tiny little beaks. And then you can see this side, the crumbles. It's still really small, but too big for these itty bitty little baby beaks. Alright. You can see it likes it. This one hasn't quite figured it out yet. We'll get there. Oh, yes. Also, in comparison, this is my child-size hand. This is my thumb. These are itty-bitty little quail. There we go. Oh, cripes. There's already 17 in here. Nice. Alright, they're figuring it out. Oh. Oh, don't get stuck. Oh. Might need to rethink my arrangements in here, but got the basics down. Okay, this is our current quail setup. So you can see it goes from one side of the back of the garage to the other. You see Cleo here. All right, these are all of our girls. So we ordered 31 quail off of a hatchery website. And it ended up, we had 17 made it. And then we have these 2, 4, 6, 8 female in here. I call that one Tux because she's got a white belly. These are all female. There is a way to sex them. You can tell if it's a boy or a girl if you look under the skirt. I don't have a partner with me. I can't do it with one hand and holding the camera. So I'm not going to show you exactly what that is, but it's very noticeable once they become sexually mature. The baby quail that we have, these guys are all from the same setup that we have the female quail, or the baby quail in. So the way we have it, you can see we've done, I think it's 1/4 inch hardware cloth on the sides and on the bottom. And you can see their little feet. Hi, not Tux. So this one's not Tux because she doesn't have a tuxedo, but she kind of looks like it. Cleo, stop eating the quail food. But you can see their little feet. They can walk around on this just fine. So when we move them from the brooder out here, it's going to be a little bit more delicate. So it's more of we need to figure out if their feet are big enough to fit out here more than anything else. So these are our 8 female. And you can see that it's a variety of quail. When James ordered them, he got the variety pack. So these are all Japanese or Coturnix quail. All right, so each quail needs 1 square foot of space. So this, I think we can fit 16 in here safely and comfortably. And we have made a dust bath with them. So it's playground sand, and we put some diatomaceous earth in that. It helps to keep them mite-free and happy. And yes, this is in a cat litter box because they get in there and they fluff it all up and there's sand flies everywhere, and we don't want to have to keep filling it up all the time, so we don't. And you can see one of the girls decided to lay an egg in there. All right, so for the top we used some of this clear corrugated roofing material. It's all right. It's getting the job done, but it might be, as you can see, it kind of sinks in and it holds on to all of our leaves. So it might be updated in the future. All right, we have the quail waterers. This one's actually have the big jugs on them. And we have done a special feeding thing. So James found this on the internet. You cut holes inside. It looks like a spaghetti. Not a Tupperware, but storage container. And we've got these little things where they can't actually get all the food all over the ground. They still manage to get food all over the ground, but it definitely helps. All right. Oh, and the best part about this hardware grate is all the poop falls right in, so we don't have to worry about cleaning their space. This space gets a little gross, but I'm working on figuring out how to do that. We built them a little hutch. you know, they want some safety and protection, and you can kind of see that they do lay most of their eggs in there. Oh, lots of eggs today. Alrighty, so this is the ladies' hutch. Over here, we have our males. So they have the same kind of setup, still have the hardware cloth, we've got the corrugated, we've got the hutch, they've got one food, but we've got 2 male because they're the prettiest, and it's generally an 8-to-1 ratio. That makes it all right. Yes, we have 2 in here. We used to have 3, but one was being a little jerk, and so we dispatched him. And this is actually our only breeder because this is Lumpy. He's our pet. He's just so cute. So he is one of the white pearl quail, but we just don't know if that's a genetic deformity. You can kind of see he's all off to the side. So when he was a baby quail, it was a little bit more concerning, but he's grown up and he's fine now and he can function just fine. So this is the only quail that we are using to breed because the white ones are really pretty. All right, so the only drawback with this is it's up really high to make it level. And so I get to use the very fancy cinder block to get into each of the brooder boxes. Alrighty.